Let's move on to the Cavs. LeBron sat out his first game of the season last night, resting on the second night of a back-to-back. And, man, people got upset, folks. I don't know if it was the collective feel of a lot of big players sat out last night. Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis were also DNPs. But here's longtime Indianapolis columnist Bob Kravitz from last night. Quote, "The wussification of America is complete now. It was bad enough during baseball season when managers started yanking productive starting pitchers after 5 innings, or when relievers hit the 30-pitch mark and broadcasters breathlessly wondered how that reliever might come back the next evening and, do the job he's paid millions to do. Now, though, we have LeBron James," Bob writes, "sitting out the 11th game of the regular season. The 11th, not the 56th, not the 71st, the 11th. Look, Bob is a super respected writer. He broke the Deflategate story. He is a friend. As a friend, I would note that maybe he misses the point here, right?
Absolutely, he misses the point. And I see both sides, right? I mean, if you're Coach Tyronn Lue and the Cleveland Cavaliers, you're saying, I want to keep this guy fresh as long as I can. This guy's played an enormous amount of minutes over the course of his career.
6 straight finals.
And this is not his first, second, third, or fourth year in the league. This guy is double-digit years in the league. And I also see the other side, right? I'm a parent of 3 or 4 kids, right?
On the road.
Right.
On the road. When the schedule comes out in August or whatever, I'm going to this game. I'm taking my kids to this game. Now, that's an expensive night. You got the game.
Right.
You got parking. They want a jersey.
Right.
They want to eat. Now you show up.
You got
and LeBron James is not. He's in a suit, but he's not hurt.
Right.
So I understand both sides, and it's a tough deal.
He said everything that I wanted to say. I mean, I definitely see both sides, but you also have to understand this guy's in his 14th season.
Right.
There's nobody in our league has played more minutes than LeBron James, right? His team, we all expect his team to go deep in the playoffs. He's giving this guy rest. He needs it in order for these guys to make that strong run, that strong push that we think they're going to make. This is nothing. I would rather for him to sit out at home than on the road, like Chauncey said.
Well, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, at home than on the road, because you only go in some places you play, travel once or twice a year. So that's the only issue that I have with this.
Yeah, and look, I mean, this was because it was the second night of a back-to-back. Nate McMillan even chimed in a little bit on this, and Nate McMillan is someone who had back issues in his early 30s. Larry Bird, the president of that organization, back started to fall apart when he was 32. LeBron's turning 32 next month, and you got to be careful about this sort of thing. The thing I would be more concerned about if I was the Cavs, they're 4-16 without him since he's been back in Cleveland. So you got to figure that out, because he might get injured one of these days, and he might be out for a stretch of time, and they got to
Well, Nate McMillan should be happy.
That.
He should be happy he didn't play last night.
All right, we actually have something nice to say about the Knicks, so I want to make sure we get to that before the break. Kristaps Porzingis had a career-high 35 points last night. He even got his scowl on after finishing this alley-oop. And, on a team with Carmelo Anthony and Derrick Rose, it's the Unicorn who has had at least a share of the scoring lead in 4 of the 5 Knicks wins this season. So is it fair, Chance, to call this his team now?
I don't know if you call it his team.
I asked Carmelo Anthony's friend, Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, he's got a few guys on that team that has accomplished a few more things than him. But I will say this. They need to empower this guy and feature him on the offensive end.
More.
He needs to be shooting 16, 17 shots a game.
More.
And when he does that, he should be shooting more shots?
More.
20, 25?
Give him 20. He's efficient.
I love him, man.
He's the
Mac,
most efficient scorer on your team that can play inside and out. I think you run the offense through him. Let's see. I mean, he's the new.
No, he's the real deal.
Yes, for sure.
He is the real deal. And he can take so much pressure off of Carmelo and off of Derrick Rose, who I'm sure feel a lot of pressure being in New York City, especially Carmelo.
Right.
Who's been there, and that's all he wanted to do was win.
I love this, by the way. He got the
Knicks.
Kobe scowl down, right? You like that?
Hey, what you were working on in the past hasn't been working.
Right.
Let's give this a shot. I mean, this guy, I think he's coming into his own. He's a very efficient scorer. He has game. Let's run the offense through him. Let's see how we fare out.
Plus, we're just talking about minutes and all that stuff. This is a young body on a team where you have a lot of guys who've had some usage and injury issues. So let it go.
Ride that horse.
Exactly. We got to take a quick break, but stick around. We have to talk about what went down in Toronto last night. Like, really have to talk about it. Does Drake need to tone it down on the sidelines?
I don't know about Drake, but that dude needs to tone the boots down.
Here's what Kevin said about Drake night after this game.
Boots, them tips.
He put a team on the foul line. this was Drake night here, and he's the one who just interrupted us. Give me a taste of what the trash talk was like, what the what the interaction was like with your buddy there.
I don't give a damn about no damn Drake night.
My inspiration is Doris. I think she's a stunning woman, incredible at what she does. I wish she was here tonight, but yeah, just sending all my love to her. I don't know what camera to look at, but blowing a lot of kisses, you know. But yeah, no, I love Doris with all my heart, you know. So hopefully she knows that she's woman crush every day. That's why I wore the shirt. No, dinner at my house anytime, as long as she comes alone, you know.
You hear that, Doris?
See, I was so with him up until that.
He went
right?
he went
He's
wild
wearing
on it.
the shirt. I love the shirt. He says something about making her a lovely dinner. But the alone thing, why you got to make it weird, right?
Yeah,
why you got to make it
went
weird
left
like
on
that?
He crossed the line on that one.
That's not good. Doris, of course.
But I love DB too. Like DB, I
Who
love
doesn't
DB.
love Doris Burke? That is the greatest shirt of all time. And Doris,
that was
much
dope.
more gracious than me. She tweeted at Drake, "Dinner is on." So, you know, she's. I would have maybe smacked after the last. There would have been. Yeah. Anyway. Also, I think Rihanna was there last night. Maybe she just look. Yeah. So you didn't notice her at first. I mean, I think they're broken up, but they're on again, off again, and she's a little bit confused that, you know, Doris may be moving in on her man. I don't know.
Watch out, DB.
That's right. I wouldn't want her mad at me either. So I don't know.
This record coming out.
Just as fun as this is, we cannot ignore the fact that Drake also talked a lot of smack to the Warriors during the game. Golden State got the last laugh with the win, but my question, Chauncey, is does Drake need to tone it down during these big Raptors games? Remember he had an incident with the Bulls last season, and we heard Kevin Durant before the break. He seemed pretty annoyed with him last night, right?
He's a diehard fan, and you have a right to be a fan, but if I'm Kyle Lowry, I'm saying, dude, don't talk stuff to Steph Curry.
He's the modern-day Spike
I got to
Lee.
deal with that.
Well, that's what he wants to be, right? He wants to be Spike Lee.
Talk after the game. Let a sleeping dog sleep. I got to deal with Steph Curry and KD.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that, man. I'm not the one talking stuff.
I mean, Spike's egging on Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah. He made it bad for the Knicks.
Right? So
Very, very
just
bad.
like Drake is doing.
Right. Was there any celebrity hecklers anywhere you guys played that were?
I mean, you still had Spike there.
Right.
You know, that was rooting for his Knicks and trying to
Jack
get in your
Nicholson's
head a
not
little
exactly
bit.
screaming at people, though.
Yeah.
See, this is the one I was talking about.
I got heckled pretty good one time in New York at the Garden by Tracy Morgan.
Really?
Oh, he killed me all game. He killed me. But as he was killing me, I was killing him.
You were killing the Knicks. It motivated you, right?
So it was great. It worked out for everybody.
Did he say anything fun about you? You could repeat on television?
No.
Nah.
Tracy Morgan.
It's good for him to say it, but not me.
All right. I do want to get
Family
into
show, guys.
exactly. I do want to get into what happened right across the street here at Staples Center because you both were in the building last night. Chris Paul played great last night, and they almost came back on the Grizzlies. Interesting, before the game, though, he revealed that he was incredibly nervous to get LASIK surgery this summer. It significantly improved his vision, but he needed his family to prod him into it. He needed several sedatives to understand, to undergo the surgery. And I guess, look, LASIK is very common, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that so many other NBA players have undergone it, LeBron's done it, Dwayne Wade's done it, it made it more interesting to me that he was so nervous about it. He needed to be sedated because even with something that's that routine at this point, the threat to your livelihood and even more, not just your job, it's your identity of who you are as a person, right? You are a basketball player. Something could break into that. I was staggered by how big a deal this was to him.
Yeah. Well, me knowing Chris the way that I know Chris, he's nervous by nature anyway.
Okay.
By anything.
And I know I had teammates like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is something to be nervous about.
Is it?
Right.
This could change everything.
Yeah, but the
If they go in
percentages
there-
of guys that has LASIK
But
surgery.
it's not 100%.
Right. There are people who it does go wrong.
So if
I mean,
it's not
his court
100%,
vision is the
what happens if it goes wrong?
He gonna be
We wouldn't have
blind
been
as
watching
hell.
him last night.
right.
And if we are watching him, what are he going to shoot, 5-10% from the field?
Right.
You shoot at 3 baskets.
And y'all would have been killing him on national television. So
I mean, that's something to be nervous about. He had a good career thus far. I'm not having that until my career is over.
really, so you wouldn't have done it.
No.
Interesting.
Not if I'm all right and I'm playing well.
Right,
I'm not
right.
going to do it just to make sure I'm seeing during the day, seeing good.
Yeah.
I wish
As long as I can play
him.
ball,
Yeah.
I'll wait till I'm retired.
Well, there you go. I don't know. He had it done. It worked out okay, America. We can move on.
Oh, man.
Chris Paul does not need to be drugged to undergo any more procedures that we know of. D.C., though, my hometown, things are going from bad to worse. Check out this young fan during last night's home loss to the Sixers. I can relate, my friend. I can relate. This team is 2-8. I was that age, by the way, and I was a hardcore Bullets fan at that age.
Oh,
and also
God,
at that age,
man.
I was doing a lot of crying over the Bullets. So I understand. And look, Marcin Gortat, I guess the kid was Polish, so Marcin felt some responsibility. I'm sorry, little Polish Wizards fan. Sorry you had to see this tonight. Hey, really, I am.
The whole organization need to apologize to that little fan right there.
I hope he's not a season ticket holder because he's going to be crying every night.
You think so? You don't think there's any way out of this?
Call that little kid, man. Cheer him up. What they displayed last night, it's worth crying.
There's going to be a lot of crying out of that kid. Don't let him come back to the game.
Right, well, it could be. I don't know if it's going to get better anytime soon. I mean, they want Jan Mahimi. They think that when he comes back, that'll make a difference. Scotty Brooks is having nightmares.
Wicked Wizards.
He's like, where are the players I was promised? But again, I digress. Still more of The Jump is coming up after this break. We have an outspoken Matt Barnes about the Kings' schedule, and Chauncey is going to be outspoken about that. But first, let's go back to this date in 2002, our distant replay.
Armstrong knocked away by Arenas. Ahead to Jason. Look out!
Ooh, that was nice.
Oh, my goodness. They're standing in the arena on that one. The pass off the steal and the finish.
When I played for the Clippers, we had, our schedule was patterned to us. It was good travel, good home stands, and, it catered to us. This is who gives about the Kings type schedule, so we just got to be ready to play.
Who gives a bleep about the Kings is what he called it. 4 sets of back-to-backs. That's the most in the NBA. 7 road games. 7 road games. They've obviously got more than 7 road games. I don't know why that's on there. And the end of that, I say. 5-game East Coast road trip, and they faced the Spurs twice. This must be in what they have done so far. So, look, I mean, do you feel that you played on the Clippers with Matt Barnes? He's saying that when you guys were together on the Clippers, the schedule was catered to a sort of show team like the Clippers in L.A., and that in Sacramento, his allegation is that may not be the case.
Matty is my guy, and this is Matt being Matt. I love Matt. But the bottom line is this. If you're a bad team, every team is hard. Every game is hard.
It's hard.
Every game is hard.
Going with that one, but
every game is hard when you're a bad team.
Hey, man, you make a lot of sense on that.
I mean, come on, man. That's the benefit of winning. You're going to have a little leniency. But if you're a bad team, you can't look on the schedule nowhere and circle and say, all right, we good that night.
Right.
That's a bad team if you can't.
Come on, man.
Right.
Every team is bad.
So it's not that the leagues, it's not the schedule makers are doing anything different. It's just that it feels different when you're on the Clippers and you can circle some easy wins.
When you're on the Clippers, I mean, you were winning,
yes.
right? Here, you don't do much winning. You don't have many winning streaks.
Right.
You're miserable. I didn't see anything wrong with the schedule.
No.
Nothing at all.
They have the 18th. They have the 18th toughest schedule, which would be at not.
No,
hard,
not at all.
basically.
So 30 teams.
Not even mid. A little on the easy side, actually. So
losing,
there you
man.
go.
That's what losing does to you.
There you go. Make or miss. Skills make Steph Curry with the and one last night, and he's so impressed.
First of all,
he stares. He thanks his own hand at the end of that.
I think like a point guard, he should have passed it to Iggy so Iggy could have dunked the ball instead of trying to get the and one.
See, where was the foul?
But when he has the magic,
there wasn't one.
No. All right. Well, there you go. Miss dunks, Tracy, Mr. Dunk. What is JaVale McGee thinking here?
Well, I'm actually gonna be on JaVale's side right here. It looks like he thought the guy was going to undercut him, which probably scared him.
Right.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
I get that.
You're
7'9", and you worried about somebody jumping on. Okay, that's fine too.
It's been a little bit more and more of a problem in the league. I don't know. Make fans, Chauncey. You ever sign autographs after getting ejected from a game like Devin Booker, the nicest kid in the world?
First of all, he's walking off the court with a smile.
Right.
The times that I've been ejected, it was nothing to laugh about. And I might have took that thing and threw that back on the court.
And you're getting beat by 15 or 20 right here.
Oh, man.
Well, look,
That
if
was
you're
like the
on the
coolest
Suns,
ejection ever right
if
there.
you're on the
man.
Suns, you've come to terms with being beat by 15-20. That's not like the thing that's going to set you off, right?
Wow.
He's a good kid, though, right? You guys have been impressed with him, Booker.
absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
One of my
He can
favorite
play.
young players in the league. He's going to
I
be
like
an
his
all-star
game.
for a long
A lot
time.
of fun to watch. We'll have to see if eventually it feels like he's trapped the way. Well, we'll find out.
Well, we hope not.
That's it
We
from
hope
LA. T-Mac is back tomorrow, and he made it!
Oh, he's used to that, huh?